What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
$50 million appropriation, and local and county leadership approved our request to embark on a transformational project that I'm excited to tell you about. Now, when we talk about reinvestment, it can sound abstract, but for Oakland County, our stake and commitment to downtown Pontiac, it's very real. If you have spent any time in Pontiac over the years, as I have, you probably know the story. You noticed the deteriorating skeleton of the Phoenix Center. But on the flip side, you should have met residents who never stopped believing in the city, even when investment passed them by. You've also seen what happens when leaders decide that waiting for the market to just fix everything on its own, it just isn't good enough. So, in this new leadership era that we're talking about, reinvestment isn't about just chasing the next big headline. It's about restoring confidence and demonstrating that the community is worth betting on. That's what we did when we announced that we were tearing down the dilapidated Phoenix Center. If you were from Pontiac, you'd be cheering right now. We also bought the 2 adjacent office buildings, and we're renovating the old General Motors building into a new home for about 700 Oakland County employees. And I'm leading by example and moving my office, as well as 18 different executive departments, into that new building. I believe that this will inject energy and foot traffic into a downtown that used to be teeming with crowds, but for too long, it's been deserted and silent on most days. So our plan includes 2 new parking garages for our county and other employees that work downtown, as well as the visitors and new residents and businesses that we know are coming to Pontiac. The demolition of the Phoenix Center was completed last year, opening up the south end of downtown and making it more walkable and ready for new green space and development. In addition, this is a public-private effort, and our private partners are going to add housing and other commercial development to our new campus. Now, let me be clear, there were already a few projects in the works even before we announced our project. Projects like the redevelopment of the former Pontiac State Bank building. It's a nearly $15 million investment in a beautiful and historic, and I might add, tallest building in Pontiac. And it's going to create 114 new residential units in the heart of downtown. And already, Blackacre Management, the developers of the project, they have a wait list of over 300 people for those 114 units. They want to move in as soon as possible when that building is ready for occupancy in 2 months. Dalen Hanna, the CEO of Blackacre, said the county's investment reinforced his instinct that Pontiac is a community worth investing in. And he knows that the county's presence will bring stability and resilience to the city's renaissance. Another project is the $105 million redevelopment of the former Oakland Press building and neighboring structures, known as the Exchange Project, which is going to bring 287 new residential units to one of the most visible intersections in Oakland County, Woodward Avenue and M59. So there's also the recent announcement of an expansion of McLaren Oakland's Emergency Center, expected to result in more than $60 million of investment brought about by its new leader, CEO Lorenzo Suiters. Lorenzo, if you're here, thank you very much. Lorenzo told me that our investment just across the street from the hospital has ignited a new energy and led them to move from exploring to greenlighting their expansion plans. By using transformational brownfield tools and working with public and private sector partners, we're helping to take long vacant properties in Pontiac and turning them into housing and renewed activity in the heart of their downtown. Not overnight, not without risk, but with intention and collaboration. And you know, it's not just about the million-dollar projects. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I'm excited about the small businesses, the retailers, the gyms, the restaurants, the service providers who have decided to stay or open in downtown Pontiac. That's what really helps create the vibrancy and the heart that every downtown really needs. Daya Marchand, I want to tell you her story. She said that her friends were perplexed, frankly, when she told them that she was going to open her new interior design and gift shop in downtown Pontiac last year. Why not in an established retail hub like Rochester or Birmingham, they asked. And her response was simple. Why not Pontiac? She wanted to land in a spot where she could have more of an impact on the future of the city that she loved. So she opened her business, designed mindfully, and she invited a dozen artists, mostly from Pontiac, to join her and offer their one-of-a-kind items for sale in her store. Last year, there was another exciting event in the city that shows that same commitment and progress. In one day, 7 small downtown businesses celebrated their grand opening or their anniversaries. The DIA was even there for the festivities, helping to unveil a new mural that they commissioned by renowned artist Zach Curtis on the district courthouse. These are the businesses and attractions that help define our unique and vibrant communities across Oakland County. And they employ our neighbors and our friends. They're part of the economic engine that makes and keeps Oakland County strong. And I want to be clear about this. This kind of reinvestment is designed to be inclusive and community-focused. It's about attracting new energy while respecting the people who have been there all along. And that's not unique to Pontiac. We're seeing similar commitments here in Detroit and other legacy communities across Southeast Michigan. So the lesson is simple. When leaders are willing to align tools, share risk, and stay committed over time, reinvestment can strengthen communities instead of displacing them. That's what inclusive growth looks like in practice. And that's what's happening in downtown Pontiac. So if you haven't been there in a while, give me a call. I'll give you a tour personally. But be prepared to be impressed and ready to invest. Thanks for your time today and have a great conference.